to Tuesday Night Fight Night. Here in the rings this evening, we have from Russia, it's the big boy himself, coming out at a minimal 300 pounds. The bringer of doom, the explosive ball of pain, the bloody baron, it's Atom Bomb!
They call me the firecracker because I crack your skull in two. It's great to be here, everybody. Thanks for having me here. Let's get beginning.
In the other corner, coming in at a hefty 25 pounds, it's the string bean of the South, the farmer of Fallout's old Mick Connor.
Oh, just you wait. These biceps will curl you into oblivion.
And let me pass it on to the live commentary from your favorite sportscaster, JJ Acobson. You can take it away and ding ding, fight!
Alright, here we go. I grab chair, I swing it around, bring it down on skull.
Never sportscast in my life.
Oh no, not my cranial.
Oh, you like that, don't you? Take it again.
Alright, so it seems like they're doing some sort of fighting in the ring right now. As you can see, the big Atom Bomb himself has picked up a chair. Can the string bean slither out?
Take a pitchfork to the gut.
Looks like we got some weapons in here right now. Pitchfork right to the gut, as he said out loud.
My blood got in my own eyeball. Oh, I can't see.
Oh, no eye protection here. This is as ruthless as it gets.
Time for my ultimate
fighting.
attack.
Oh,
Pitchfork pole vaulting double drop kick.
They basically do their job when they say the moves they're doing.
Time to do Titan AE, a double elbow flying
And
kick.
cutting in! Whoa, sorry to interrupt your favorite sports broadcast. We're going to interrupt it with some D&D because people like that better. So welcome to Cheaper by the Dungeon.
Favorite podcast is Russian wrestling in this show.
Get back in the ring and out of my show.
Okay, we'll
Atom Bomb.
Who's editing this week?
Me. Connor.
Good luck editing.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Yep. You know, I had higher hopes for that bit, and now I can see it was tough.
I didn't hear what.
All I gotta say is I think I found my new character, if Peterson dies.
Atom Bomb.
I'm not a dragonborn. I'm a dragon the bomb! It's happening, guys.
So we are Cheaper by the Dungeon, D&D 5th edition podcast, and I'm here with regular old Jacob.
I'm just regular old me doing my regular old thing.
Normalish Adam.
Hello?
And that very average Connor.
I like straight middle of the road, nothing special.
But I'm exceptional. And we're going to bring you an exceptional episode right now. So recap for you. Last week, we saw Darian in the Feywild going through a dungeon to find the gate to the Mechanos Plain, the one that was closed off at the end of the war. He found it, his helmet popped off his head like a head crab, and jumped into the pool, leaking some black ink liquid. This chromatic stuff. Right before he got actually murdered by a fairy, he hit the gem in his chest and zipped back right to where his magical essence was in the other plane. He teleported all the way home. While there, he got escorted back to his favorite pit in his little kind of ice cell with Draken. And there they had an emotional talk. And because, and only because of Draken's guidance and care, did Darian escape the pit. On the flip side, we have Zippy, who was being a little hacker bunny in the mainframe. He was hitting buttons and doing stuff and also ending marriages.
Hack the planet.
And he and Leslie got in a fight and they accidentally hit the manual overdrive button, which affected Peterson, who had rallied the greeters and was trying to run through the halls of the underground maze of Mechanos area, and they ran into a room overrun with robot spurs, the little infantry robots. In that room, right when they were about to attack, Zippy hit the button accidentally, and boom, their mind control or something went off. And you could see that there was actual people and souls inside these robots, and they were back to their kind of full consciousness. and weren't being controlled anymore. However, a sticky situation, it seems as though one soul can produce 10 robots, which is kind of tricky and also kind of cool. Good job, Seth. Self 5. And on the other side, with Zippy, he was trying to escape and leave the room because he was done with it. But then he got cornered by the big bad himself, Otto. So this is where we find our three heroes. Darian has just exited the pit. Zippy is in full confrontation with Otto. And Peterson, where we're going to start. You have just seen all the robots fall to their knees. You've seen that one of them identified themselves as Green, a greeter, and they were talking with Prince Brisbane. So it seems that not only Mana Snow people were put in here, but some of the Greeters Guild that Lara and Prince Brisbane and Cork all came here with. But they're all there, and they're asking for your help, Peterson. What do you want to do?
How many of them are there around us?
There's like 80.
Holy!
And then outside on the right side of the wall in this big area where you're in, it's kind of like where they're manufacturing the bodies for the robots. There's a giant hole in the right wall that looks out, and you can see the giant torso mech thing that's in the middle of the chasm is just peering in, and their eyes are blue. Their orb is blue too. And they're just looking in, trying to ask for help as well. So you got 80 spurs and one giant half mech.
Okay, and how tall is the half mech? It's just the upper torso, rotating around?
Yeah, rotating around basically. And it is approximately like 45, 50 feet high. It's pretty big.
Okay, so we're going like full Godzilla here. Okay, cool.
This is like Gundam.
Okay, well, my mask is still down. I'm going to look at him just to see if I can see how many lights are in the mech's dome.
You look, and you can see there's much more strength in the wiring for the mech. Like, there's much more, like, magical wiring in there or stuff like that. But you can't discern how many souls or stuff like that.
Okay. I'm going to turn to Green. I'm going to assume that I can tell who he is. I'm going to say, Robotic One, do you have any recollection of the layout of this place, even in your new consciousness?
I remember some things from when I was a greeter, before I was put in this shell.
It is imperative that we find my compatriots before we try to escape, because without their help, we will not succeed. We need to both find a Lapine, who will be with a friend of yours, a fellow compatriot named Lara, who is a dragonborn. We also need to go to some kind of prison, I presume. We need to find...
Lara is still okay.
As far as I know, she is, but that is contingent upon us finding where she is located. But before we do that, we also need to find a green Eladrin, a kind of elf creature, if you're not familiar. He will be in the prisons, and he has great strength and experience with a blade. If we can get to him, we can do anything.
Prince Brisbane cuts in and says, Wait a minute. I thought we were only looking for Lara.
We're not.
What?
In order to help Lara, we need all of my compatriots. That's how dire straits we are in. And as you can see, things have only escalated, Prince Brisbane. We need to act as one, and we need to act quickly. Do you know how to get to the pits?
Well, wasn't that the pits at the bottom of the chasm before or something?
Oh. I look down. Is that it? Like, I can see it, right?
You jump up and look out the giant hole in the right side of the wall, and you look down and you can see there's like ice flooring where the Prince Brisbane before said that the prisons might be held or the prisoners might be held.
Oh, right. And you said this is like, it's like 120 feet down, right?
Yeah, 150.
I'm going to look up at the giant mech and say, Giant Mech One, what should I call you?
I do not have a name.
Well, I'm going to call you Really Tall One. Really Tall One, can you reach down into the pit from where you are and see if there are any prisoners in there? Preferably a green one.
I can try.
And they reach down and their whole body arcs and they can touch the bottom. They're close enough to kind of like not touch the very bottom, but their hand gets decently close, like 30 feet off the ground down there. Like it shifts its whole body upside down in this rotating gear. And it comes back up and says,
I cannot reach the bottom, but I can get pretty close.
Everyone, I'm going to turn to all the 80 robots and the fellow greeters. I'm going to say, wait here for me. I'll be right back. And
don't leave us. We need you. We are scared. Please help us.
Here, give me a moment. I'm gonna go to Locked In. And how's he doing?
He's kind of just fired up and angry.
Okay, I'm gonna say, give me a moment, and I'm gonna pull him aside to a little corner of the room, really quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna take off my mask, and I'm looking him in the eye, goblin to goblin. I'm gonna lower my voice. I'm gonna say, Locked In, are you with us?
Yes, I am with you, and the greeters. I am here for revenge.
Listen to me. And I'm going to lower my voice even more, and I'm going to say, I have a way that you can see your tribe again.
What?
I promise you, if you stay with these people and help me help them, you will be with them in this life.
How could you pull off such a feat?
I have access to great magics that I learned when I learned how to speak as we do.
Persuasion check.
I'm kind of not really lying because I totally believe that he can. Okay. 7.
You said they are dead. There are no means to bring back the dead. I know that. That is a common northern goblin rule. We learned that in goblin school. You lie.
Well, I hope to prove you wrong someday soon, Locked In. In the meantime, stay here and keep an eye on these, and I will be back very shortly.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to the big mech. Really tall one. Bring me down there. But don't put me in the pit. Just put me on the outside so I can see down into it.
Okay. Here. Hop into my hands. A giant hand enters the room and is just laid on the floor for you to hop into.
Okay, I'm going to turn to Prince Brisbane as I hop in the hand, and I'm going to say, I'll be back soon. Keep everyone together and safe. And then after that, we find Laura. I promise.
Okay, but you better come back.
I'm a goblin. I always keep my word.
And the hand starts to raise, and you move through the circle in the wall, and you're out into the ravine, the chasm, and you can see all the intertwining bridges and everything, and you're in the mech's hands.
Okay.
Okay. You want to go down?
Yes, please.
It starts shifting its body while cupping you in its hands, and it starts moving, but then you start to feel tremors, and you start to feel shaking, and you feel something's coming. Cut! We're gonna go to Darian.
Come on, Seth! Ah.
We're gonna go to Darian. Darian, you have just successfully made it out of the pit. And you're walking through these, like, ice caves with Draken at your side. Kid, I think left and then right foot. And then left foot, and then right foot. Yep, you're doing it.
All right.
See? Listen to me.
Jack,
I know all the answers.
I told you I didn't need you to tell me how to walk. I know how to walk. That's fine.
It's like I'm watching a newborn stag for the first time.
Oh gosh. Okay. Look, when I was unconscious when they brought me down here the first time, and I don't know if I recall on my trips before, do you remember being brought down here? Do you have any idea how we can get out of here?
Yep, I remember it very clearly. I was not knocked out for any of it.
Perfect. Where,
Also, I could figure it out without even knowing anything. You'll learn soon enough how to have a fantastic intuition about directions.
Well, I mean, I'm a decent tracker. I just figured it'd be easier if you just remembered and we could save time if you knew the way.
Okay, well, fine. Shoot down my teaching moment. Fine. We'll come back to this curriculum later.
All right.
Okay. So we're gonna keep going straight
Okay.
and more straight.
Okay.
And then, there's Trish. Oh, crap.
Wait, what?
And then you see Trisha, the spider robot that, has been your kind of handler this whole time, has its back turned to you and is plugging up this entire kind of cave that you're in, this little ice cave. And their backs turned to you and they're just looking at their hands. Okay, Darian. We don't want to get kidnapped again. You're gonna have to listen to me.
All right.
Okay. How I used to do things when I wasn't a fish was purely through intimidation. That got me through so many situations. So we're gonna do that now, okay?
You want me to try and intimidate this spider? This
Yes.
big...
Show her who's boss. And
This-
show her that you're better than Otto, and that you own this place. Because you're Darian Branch.
This is a giant robotic spider that may be devoid of feeling, and you want me to try and intimidate it?
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, I don't understand everything I do either, but it's worked. It's worked for me like my whole life.
Oh, I mean, sure. I mean,
You said you'd listen to me. Come on.
You got us this far, all right. Let's go for it, I guess. And Darian kind of awkwardly, straightens his back and brings his shoulders back, like he's, trying to be intimidating, but you can tell he's, doesn't want to be doing this. And he, stands up straight and very stiffly, marches forward towards the spider robot. He goes, hey, robot. Listen here. And, it's time for you to let us past. Now.
Who am I? What am I doing here? Why are my hands robotic? Now tell her lasagna sucks ass.
Wait, your lasagna sucks ass.
With feeling!
Did you ask why your hands were robotic?
Screw that! Say something!
Well, Draken, hold on. Did you just ask why your hands were robotic? Did something happen?
Why are you insulting my lasagna? I don't even know how to make lasagna. Now tell her she's terrible at being a guard.
You're terrible at being a guard. But, hold on, Draken, listen to what she's saying.
I'm getting insulted by why? Yeah, see, Darian, it's working. Keep going.
Don't...
And while you do, just slowly move past her.
Draken, I think she's confused.
Yeah, because she's never been stood up to like this before.
Okay, well, yeah, serves you right. And he starts kind of inching past her to the left, kind of going across. So you better let us, go now.
Make an intimidation check.
That's a 3. Very fitting.
They just keep crying and staying there. Okay, Darian, a little further. Aim for the gut. I'll let you be creative with this one. Say something really mean and insulting.
Draken, I really think there's something
Say
else
it.
going on here.
Say it!
Your mechanical thorax isn't polished very well.
I have a thorax, too? Oh, it's gonna get worse! And they go running off down the cave, down to the pit area. And Draken says, Darian! That was brutal! Oh my god! Oh, see? See, you didn't think we could get through that one? With intimidation? What? Look what I just showed you!
I'm gonna be honest, Draken, I feel kinda bad.
And that feeling will dull over time.
Oh. Okay.
So let's just keep going straight, my apprentice.
That feels very Sith Lordy, but okay. I mean, hey, it's working so far. So let's keep going.
Perfect. You and Draken keep making your way through the tunnels, and you get to a place where it opens up, and you enter into the chasm, the ravine, and you're at the bottom floor, still standing and walking on ice. and you look up and you see the intertwining of bridges overhead at different levels just crossing from one side to the other. You see a giant mech in the distance looking into a hole in the wall. And then you just see lots of little drones and spurs above you, but they're all kind of like on their hands and knees. The drones are just kind of landed or are staying put in the air, and they all have kind of blue lights.
Draken, I think something else is going on here. Look at all the lights. They're all a different color, and none of them seem to be moving like they were before.
I may have done something.
Well, what did you maybe do?
I'm quite in tune with magical things due to my past existence. Being a great sorcerer and all. Maybe I accidentally went too far with my motivational speech and it caused a surge of magical energy.
I feel like if it was that strong, I would have felt something.
I think you already did. Right in there.
And it swims up against the glass and puts its head near your heart.
I mean, yeah, okay. Okay, what do we do next? I don't know. Should we just keep going, I guess? And it seems like we're pretty deep. Looks like we got a long way up.
I say we walk right up to Otto's door and give him a piece of our mind. And also ask him to take us to the Feywild again. Yeah.
Oh, like we're trying to be persuasive. We're not trying to attack him. Because, like, I have no weapons or anything right now. I don't even have any
we may attack him.
I don't have any equipment, though.
That is an issue.
Maybe...
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We should try and find my gear they took?
I mean, if it happens, usually when you're like Draken, things just kind of come to you.
That seems rather lucky.
Whether it's your sword or, like, a candelabra, you'll find a weapon.
All right, well, let's...
Just trust me, come on.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna keep going then.
Perfect.
You start walking down the ravine, and you look up and you see the giant mech is removing its hand from the wall. And there's a little Peterson inside. You can see from way down there.
Wait, I think...
Hey!
Is that Peterson?
Yeah, it looks like the little snot rag.
What the hell is he doing in here? They were supposed to escape.
This will be good. We can get him on our side and... Well, he already is on our side. My mistake. And we can just use him as maybe decoy. Or like a meat shield.
Or we could just try and get out together.
Okay.
Or
sure.
A meat shield.
Or a meat shield. Yes. Very meaty shield he is, I think.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
I'll keep that in mind, I guess.
Wait. Darian. Something's coming.
And you feel the ground start to shake. And you can tell something's coming. Cut to Zippy. Zippy, you are in a closed-off hallway with Lara, Leslie, and this open mouth at the other end of the hallway. It's like looking into the mouth of a giant worm, and down its throat is just spinning cogs and blades of steel, and a red glow way down at the other end. And it's Otto.
What the heck is that down there?
Zippy, this is bad.
Well, I mean, yeah, it looks dangerous, but I mean, it's must be all for show, right? It's just to intimidate us.
This is not for show. You have meddled with things extremely quickly. I'm a little surprised, honestly, that you made it all the way down here. But it seems as though I'm going to have to end you with my own hands.
Why? What have I ever done to you?
You messed with my computer.
Well, you're the one who didn't put a password on it or anything.
That is totally fair. And also, the mouth is coming closer.
You can see the floor is starting to sink away into the mouth, and it's chomping and chomping. You're about 15 feet away from the mouth, and it's coming closer and closer.
Zippy, what are we gonna do? Do you have anything?
Oh, not really. I'm getting low on spells and stuff like that. You've talked to Otto before. You talked to him.
Okay.
You're one of his people.
Yeah, totally. Hey, Otto, chill. Come on, both crowns here, huh? Let's just talk it out. These guys are okay. We can just turn off the things they turned on or whatever, right? It's that simple.
Leslie, you have betrayed me. I have settled and put up with you being here for so long. You are useless and a waste of space. I've only been taking care of you because that is what the Makers wanted. But now, I'm going to end you as well.
Zippy, I don't think he likes me right now. If you have something in your bag of tricks, please pull it out.
Bag of tricks. I have a bucket of water. I got some slime in it, I guess. I have a doorknob.
You also have all of Connor's stuff as well, or Darian's stuff.
I can start. There's lava below us. What's below the forest peeling away?
The floor is peeling away into just a spinning mess of cogs and blades.
We need to get lighter. I start throwing Connor's stuff.
No! Throw it in and clog it up.
There's no exit or anything? There's just walls?
Yeah, it's just Mechanos steel walls with the weird scales that it flipped into.
How am I breathing in this room?
There was air in here before it got closed off.
Hey, Otto.
What?
This would be an awful way for me to leave. You see, I'm friends with Felix. Do you know him?
You are not friends with Felix.
I am.
Felix is gone. He would not have sent you here.
How would you know?
Felix gave me all the greeters as a payment to use my services, to use the machine.
Yeah, and he gave you all the bad ones because why do you think like people like Lara's here? They're all just trash.
I'm sorry.
That's why he kept the real good greeters behind. That's where I am. And I mean, the fact that he didn't tell you about me tells me he didn't tell you a lot.
Persuasion check. I'll let you do one. While you're rolling your persuasion check, Lara, hearing this information, is like, what? No, we're here to find grand treasures and map out the plains and find them. And Felix is coming back, and we're just gonna like hit a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3.
Foolish child. He left you here to die.
What? Did he left my Lara? What?
What did you get on your persuasion check?
I got a 23.
Oh!
Crap.
I see. You may be of use if you are one of those so-called great greeters.
You can call me like S tier for all I'm concerned. I can walk through the tier system when we get more chance to talk.
Show me a display of your skill, then.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
Conjure a dragon.
Yeah, and then as soon as
that.
all my spells are gone, then you're just gonna kill me. That's not how this works. I mean, the fact that I got this deep into your base just is pretty much evidence enough. And I've already got this greeter here to follow me all around. What more proof do you need? Clearly there's a tier system going on.
I need more. You are not in a place to negotiate, Rabbit. Show me something incredible before I break your bones into fragments.
And you see the gears and knives start spinning faster as Otto's getting kind of annoyed with you.
All right. I'll show you something cool. You see, you know how the greeters have cloaks and things like that?
Yes.
Well, you see, the top tier greeters get really special cloaks. I'll show you mine, but you can't tell anyone.
Show me your treasure. Now.
Okay, what? I mean, you don't have to get angry. That seems a bit against your prerogative here, but I mean, here, I'll
Zippy, is
I'll
this
show
real?
you something.
Zippy?
Zippy,
is this actually for real?
Sorry?
Are you actually going to do something?
Yeah, I think so. This is all working so well.
I know, this is really shocking.
Shut up! Low tier greeter wannabe. Don't talk to me like that. And Lara, pull your little boyfriend aside. I got something up my sleeve.
Okay. Lara drags Leslie into the back corner of the room, and Zippy, you stand in front of the mouth of the worm.
Cracks his knuckles. All right, I'll show you. I'm a little bit worried if I... How big's this room, DM?
It's like a regular kind of hallway. It's about like 10 feet wide, 10 feet high. Just square.
Lara, push to the very back of the room.
Oh, okay. They scoot back even further.
Show me your power, greeter.
Okay. I turn into a mouse first of all.
Okay. You turn yourself, your rabbit arms sink in, your teeth become elongated, your ears tuck down and become smaller, and your body morphs into a mouse.
Does Otto react at all?
A mouse. That is it.
Alright, DM, and then with my cloak I got from Ye Old King from Season 1, I'm gonna place this cloak that I got, that if the listeners remember, they'll know where I'm going with this, and I put on the cloak.
And I assume you're going to use the one skill that I'm thinking of?
The one skill. I needed everyone to move back, and I turned into a mouse for a reason.
Even though you're a mouse, this is going to get big. And by big, I mean this mouse is going to grow in size. You activate the cloak, a green shimmer envelops you, and Otto says,
What is this? A party trick? Show me something and... Oh my god.
and Zippy starts to expand. His mouse body gets bigger and bigger and filling the space as he's growing and growing. And Darian, you look up as the room is quaking. And Peterson, you look over and see that something is shifting behind the walls and there's a crack enveloping. And Zippy, as you're expanding, you see Otto is starting to squirm a bit, and the scales on the walls are starting to flip back as he's starting to kind of retreat a bit, and he's moving through the walls and shaking the area.
What are you doing? What is happening?
And boom! Zippy explodes out the side of the wall into the chasm because his giant rat form giant mouse form could not be contained within the space. Darian, you look up. Peterson, you look across, and you just see a caped mouse that's very large. It's just falling out of the wall in slow-mo. All of your eyes meet.
Ah, yes.
And Zippy lands on his back on a bridge, and it collapses under the weight because he hits it hard. And he goes falling and lands on another one, and it breaks his fall. and you see out of the hole where Zippy just exploded from, Otto's body starts to shift, and you can see that out of the wall, it's like a growing body of this elongated metal worm is peeking out and still has the mouth full of just spinning cogs and gears. And it's looming out to like get a closer look at you, Zippy, and it just says,
What the hell was that? Are you trying to kill me? Expanding from my insides like a rat? I'm lucky I backed away in time.
Since I can't talk as a mouse, unless Otto can understand animals, I'm just gonna make squeaking big Godzilla squeak noises.
Zippy, on you hop up on your hind legs. You're about like 40 feet tall when you're standing up. So you're not like massive, but you're really impressive. And you're on your back legs, and you kind of are taking like a Godzilla stance on the bridge as the worm is expanding out from the side of the wall and getting closer. It's like Godzilla versus worm right now on the bridge in the middle of this chasm.
I raise my arms in like diagonals.
You go into like full star position while squeaking incessantly. And it's very like lower squeaks. It's like not like squeak, squeak. It's like squeak, squeak.
And I look 90 degrees up.
You look 90 degrees up, just like you did when you were in your eagle stance as well. And Peterson, we cut to you. You're in the hands of this giant mech, and you've just seen now Godzilla's Zippy Mouse versus the worm Otto coming out of the wall. And you can tell it's Zippy because of the cloak. The giant mech looks at you and says,
Peterson, what is that?
And he's talking about Otto or the mouse?
probably both.
Okay, I'm going to say, that mouse is my friend. He is a compatriot of mine. And that thing is our foe. And do I see anything different through my mask?
You put your mask down, and you can see there is a lot of magical energy in that worm. More than any other Mechanos. It looks like it has the same level as a human would.
Is it blue?
Or
like
more.
the same kind of life force that animates it?
It is like blue, but it's a different shade. It's a bit darker.
Okay, I'm going to say, and if I had to guess, really tall one, that is the one who has been enslaving you.
What? That's the one?
That's the one.
So if we take that out, then we go home.
Absolutely.
Tell me how to attack. I will take your orders.
I'm going to cast Primal Savagery, big magical claws and fangs spring out for me. I'm going to say, fisticuffs, my friend. Swing as I do.
Ready?
They are holding you in their one hand, and they arc their other hand back behind their head and close it into a fist. And they are ready to swing once you swing.
I swing.
It's like if you've ever seen the movie Real Steel, where they like box at the same time. It's like that. And the giant mech, its fist goes, and it's arcing down. Zippy, you're standing there, looking up and squeaking incessantly to intimidate. And Darian, you're on the ground, looking up with Draken, just watching this, and you can see this giant mech fist comes and just boom, slow-mo, just crushes into Otto, into the side of this worm, and its body recoils and slams against the wall and starts slithering in back. And you can just hear Otto inside saying,
How dare you defy me? You will all die.
I'm going to say, salutations! My name is Peterson. And I'm going to swing for him again.
okay, another mech fist is prepped, and it comes, and it's just one after another. The fist is just getting pounded, and they're pounding the worm into the wall. And then the robot is just the whole time kind of like screaming in anger and just going,
Die, die, die.
and then it grabs it and removes it from the wall, and you can see it's made a huge dent, and then it grabbed it and it whips the worm and slams it into the other one, and it arcs it around, and it uses its torso is kind of like on this spinning gear, and it starts spinning around and around, slamming it into every wall until eventually they let go, and the worm goes flying and crashes into the giant metal doors with the gear symbol on it that led into Otto's chambers, and the worm goes crashing through them and into the dark room, and the room goes silent.
Draken, I don't think we'll be reasoning with Otto now.
Oh my god. That was incredible. See, Darian, things just gotta work out. Let's get up there while he's weak. Finish him off.
That's not a bad idea. It was very Pacific Rim. I love that. But I still don't have a weapon.
I don't think we'll need one if we got the big guy up there.
Also, I think that big mouse is Zippy. Zip! Zip, is that you?
Zippy, you look down and you can see Darian and Draken.
Squeak.
like that, the Iron Giant, but it's a mouse.
The mech looks at you, Peterson, and says,
Are those your friends?
Yes, these are my compatriots. Can you bring us together?
Yes. Let me do that.
and the giant mech reaches over and puts a hand out to you, Zippy. It lays its hand on the bridge for you to hop in.
Squeak. I walk into it.
Westboro, it's good to see you alive. It's funny, you held me as a mouse, and now I hold you.
That's pretty good.
Full circle.
With my other hand, I pet him just a little bit. Does that feel okay?
Squeak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay.
Seth, just to clarify something. Sorry, this big mech that Peterson's riding in and now Zippy, like, is it attached to the wall? Like, or does it have legs? It's just like a big mech?
There's like a giant bridge that its torso is centered on.
It's like sitting on a column kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah, essentially.
Okay, yeah, that's it. And does the column go up and down, or it's just like, it seems like a fixed point that it just has big reach?
So it's less of a column, and it's more of like a bridge that it's laying on, and the bridge like can rotate upside down, so it can like go upside down. The mech says,
I will put you down before I grab the Eladrin.
Please do, but also, really tall one. Once you drop us off together, it's imperative that you tell Prince Prisbum and Lockton to bring all of the Spurs down to be with us.
The robot looks at you and says,
Yes, I think they already know.
and they look over and you can see they're all watching, Prince Prisbum, Korik, Lockton, and all the like Spurs are looking out the center hole because they were watching what happened. And you can see Prince Prisbum's just like clapping and jumping up, and he's like, "Yeah, hell yeah!"
I'm going to cast Toll the Dead to kill Prince Prisbum. Just kidding. I'm going to cast Toll the Dead to make a big bell sound. And I'm going to say, Mechanos people, a reckoning has come. It is time we remove the restraints that bind us. But we all must act as one. Come down below, where we will fight your captor.
Set us free. Yes, yes. They all start chanting.
I'll do another Toll the Dead just for flair.
And it goes, boom. You look out, Zippy, to see what happened to Lara and Leslie. And you can see, like, the dust settles from the room, and you can see Lara and Leslie's holding Lara, and his back is just like scratched and broken down. He's like kind of holding her in the corner, and you can see Mechanos steel from his fake skin is poking out, and he's still just like huddled around her, trying to protect her from what just happened in the room. But he looks like he got beat up, kind of.
By my doing?
More likely from Otto moving around and being flung around. But Leslie, let's go. And he helps Lara up, and they move to the hole, and they're looking out into the chasm. And Leslie looks over at you, Zippy, in the hand, and is like waving from afar.
I see it, and I give a nice little mouse nod.
They nod, and then they start trying to like rappel down the wall. Leslie's kind of like holding Lara while they're trying to slowly rappel down and get to a bridge to meet up with all of you.
I would like to get the mech's attention.
You get it. You look at the mech, and the mech looks at you.
And I point towards Otto, and then I gesture like a baseball throw.
You want me to throw you?
Do you think maybe we could regroup first? Still kind of stuck down here.
I don't think I would see that or hear that. I'm too focused.
Fair enough.
Can I take out any inventory stuff during this time as a mouse?
Yep. I imagine your backpack straps are a little like mangled, but your backpack's still on you.
It's on your wrist.
As the mouse, I go into my backpack and I take out Darian's sword.
Okay.
And I want to continue on with this baseball throwing plan.
Oh my gosh. Zippy, what are you doing?
So
I
you're
can't hear him.
You're in the same hand as Peterson.
Zip?
Oh, I'm in the same hand as Peterson?
Yeah.
I actually I did notice Darian's cries for help. I rummage through and I throw him that dagger he wanted to throw at.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can you just
You
throw me
see
my bag of
Darian.
stuff? Gosh.
Darian, you see the bone dagger twirling in the air as it's falling down, and shink, it sticks into the ice.
Well, I guess it's something, but poison's not going to do a lot to a robot. I walk over and pick it up and start trying to make my way up.
Okay.
Ugh.
The robot looks at you, Zippy, and says,
Ready for takeoff?
Does Peterson want to come with? Does Peterson like see this happening, and does he want to come with?
so Peterson, do you want to go with Zippy or just be put to the side with like the spurs or the greeters or something while the robot gets Darian?
The Spurs are already on their way, right?
They're moving out of the room, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Zippy then.
Okay. You go both in its hand, and it starts to wind up like it's going to throw a baseball pitch. Its hand closes a little, so you and Zippy kind of get really snug and pressed together. Any final words before you get launched?
I'm going to say, hold me, and I'm going to snuggle into the soft fur of his underbelly, where we all know it's the softest.
I look towards where we're going to be thrown, and I glare.
Commence throwing.
And you feel it's like a roller coaster, and you're going off the edge. The velocity picks up, and you guys are thrown into the dark room, Otto's room. You're flying through the air. What are you guys doing as you're going in?
Squeeze!
I'm not going to say anything.
You are flying out a giant rat with his green cowl, just its cape just like flowing in the wind, and you have Darian's switch sword outstretched, and you're flying. Peterson, what are you doing?
I'm just holding on tight and trying to keep eyes on where we're gonna land.
You're going, and it's dark, but then, because of your dark vision, you see the body of the worm is coming into view, and you're flying in, and because you have your sword outstretched, that's what hits first, and shink, you stab it into the side of the worm. The worm is just laying motionless, spread out on the floor of this room. And you are just stabbed it in the side. And because you're very gelatinous and kind of a fat mouse,
I'm like a big
your fat
Hamtaro.
kinda, like, bounces off. And Peterson, you kind of like fall off as you like recoil off the mouse fat. And you fall to the floor. And Zippy, you're just staying in the side of it with your sword inside the worm.
Okay, yeah, so I lost grip of the sword. Eh?
I said you were still like holding on to the wall, like holding on to the sword.
Oh, I see, yeah. I have a moment to do an action?
Sure.
Okay. I always want to see what would happen if I use this. Because, I don't know. I saw Darian use it once. Maybe, I think. The green gem from the gorilla fight. I want to see if I can... I mean, I'm not trained in the Mechanos ways, but I think I can just shove this thing in.
You mean the one that you found and had rights to way back in season 1?
Yeah, that...
Oh my gosh. I'm going to lose my effing mind.
I want to start flicking every switch, putting the gem in and then flicking every switch on this sword.
Yeah, you're not too familiar with how to use it, so you're just pressing and switching every dial. But then, click, the Tinder Soul slots in, and the orb, the blue orb in the center, starts to glow.
Well, I've been asleep for a while. Hey, Master, that was a good move last one, eh?
You're not my master.
Squeak!
Whoa. Uh-huh. That makes perfect sense. Don't worry. I realize you are just
Master's
pet.
Squeak!
Yes, I will be my master's pet's weapon.
There is no greater privilege for me. Tell me what to do, my
Furry master.
I do a big mouse smile and I just say, squeak.
Oh, roger that, my furry friend. Initiating groovy green Tinder Soul attack.
And you see the sword starts transforming. Peterson, while the sword's transforming, you notice that you actually didn't land on the floor of this room. You didn't land on Mechanos steel. You're deeper into the room than Darian ever was. And you can see that you're actually standing on top of little gems. Little blue gems. Similar to the ones which you noticed that Lara had in her suit when she teleported back or when she was in the room at the top of the tower. There's a bunch of these little blue gems, and you're just kind of standing on a pile of them.
Okay, I'm going to pick one up and give it an Arcana check to see if I can discern its purpose.
Arcana check. And while you're doing that, the sword, the Tinder Soul, is reacting, and the branches are flowing throughout. The sword is separating, and you can see it's like only the hilt remains. Zippy, you fall to the floor as well because you can't hold on to it anymore as it's waving about. And you can see the blade of the sword has split into several different kind of like branches with sword bits at the end of them. And they all just go digging into the worm. And you can see it's just like just ripping it apart. You can hear the steel breaking as it seems like it's growing, and it's much more aggressive than it ever was when you saw Darian use it. You can see actually at the hilt of the sword a little head starts to form, the head of a tree ant, and a body starts twisting together. And you can see it's starting to take the form of a tree ant with one arm outstretched. All from the tree ant's fingers are the extensions of the blade now. It seems to be a fully functioning tree ant with the hilt on top of its head. And you can just hear steel banging around and just clanging as the wood is tearing into it. Peterson, what did you get on your Arcana?
24.
That's what you got on your Arcana check?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You can tell this gem is magical. You can even tell with that level, you can tell you've seen some similar type of magic within the Wizard's Tower way back from your past when you look through it with your mask. You can tell that the magic on this thing is related to time.
Wow. How many of them are around me? You said like tons of them?
Like tons of them.
I'm going to grab a fistful for now, Justin, and I'm going to put him 2 fistfuls, like armful, and put him in my bag.
Okay, perfect. You store them in, and then you and Zippy look up as you see the newly formed tree ant from the sword is just digging its fingers into the worm, and it's spreading. But then you see over the horizon, like the worm isn't reacting at all to this anymore. It seems to just have gone silent. And then the switch sword says,
Fuzzy Master, there doesn't seem to be any life in this thing to kill. I don't know what's happening, or why you ordered me to do this. You are a crazy one.
I do like a shrug mouse thing and squeak.
I'm going to look around with my mask down just to see if by chance there's something within 60 feet that has that same color life force that he had.
The mask comes down, and you can see there's no magic in the worm anymore. But you look up, and you can see it's kind of like a wave is coming, a wave of magical energy. And you lift your mask, and Zippy and Peterson, you see a red light is starting to grow at the other end of the hallway beyond the worm. And it's getting brighter and brighter. And that's where we're going to take a break. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another mid-roll. I'm just going to keep this real quick because I want you to hear the rest of the episode because I think it's really good. And we're getting into like the end part of this Mana Snow and Mechanos arc. Actually, next episode is going to be the big like climax and finale of this arc. It's not the finale of season 2, but it's the finale of this arc. And actually, it's going to be coming out. Let me get that calendar, which you think I would learn by now to have prepared. It is going to be coming out on Tuesday, the 21st of April. So April 21st. Keep an eye out for it. That's going to be the big boss battle? Spoilers, maybe? I don't know. You gotta listen to the rest of this episode. But other than that, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who's been supporting us, especially through this quarantine and everything. I know a lot of podcast people have mentioned that their numbers have gone down and stuff because people aren't commuting or you know, people aren't working, and that's usually when people listen to podcasts. But all of you have still been listening and supporting us and reaching out, and it's been fantastic. So thank you so much for all your support. We're going to keep pushing out content towards you during this kind of stressful time, but we hope you listen and enjoy. And man, we have so much good stuff on the horizon. I just want to push it out. Maybe someday we can do weekly instead of bi-weekly. But until then, please enjoy the rest of this episode. And also, if you want to reach out or stay in touch with us, we have our Twitter at Cheaper Dungeon, a Facebook page, Cheaper by the Dungeon, and of course our Instagram, Cheaper_Dungeon. You can find us there, reach out to us, all that stuff. And also, if you want to go above and beyond and help us, you can give us a review on iTunes or even a review on Podchaser. Podchaser is actually doing a thing right now with every new review, I think until April 15th. Don't quote me on that. But up until April 15th, every new review, not just on our show, but on any show or any episode of any podcast using their platform, they're going to donate 25 cents to Meals on Wheels. So definitely go check that out. Give us a review. Give your other podcasts that you listen to a review and spread the love. So that's it for me, though. Please enjoy the rest of this episode and get pumped for the next episode as well. April 21st. Keep an eye out. All right. Take care, everybody. And we're back. Zippy and Peterson, you see the red glow from the distance. Behind you, you hear footsteps, and you see the greeters and a bunch of spur robots are led into the doorway about 30 feet back from you. And they're all just peering in, looking in, and also seeing the red lights. Darian, you see that the mech is reaching down to pick you up. It's about 30 feet off the ground. It can't reach all the way down. And Draken just says to you,
Kid, face step again.
It'd be Misty Step, and that's a whole nother spell slot. There's no way to run up or anything? It's just hanging.
I mean, you
here.
could try and climb the nearby wall and do that.
I'll run up in Misty Step. I'll do it for time.
You zip Misty Step, and you're in the hand of the mech. And it starts arching its back up. And as you're getting lifted up, Darian, you're so close to being reunited. You look over and you can see red is pouring out. Just a red glow of light is coming from Otto's chambers. And the big mech looks at you and says,
Would you also like me to throw you?
How about a light toss? Maybe not quite a baseball pitch.
A grandma throw, grandma bowl.
Grandma bullet.
Bowls you. Knocks over all the spurs. Like,
Granny bowl it is.
the giant mech cups you in both of its hands, and it raises down beneath its torso, and it's getting ready to granny toss you. But then you look up, Darian, and you feel another tremor. And Peterson and Zippy, you look up, and over the worm, you see there's these little, like, circular pipes of Mechanos steel, and lots of them just spreading out above you in the air. And they're just floating there kind of slowly as they're growing and growing out and extending. And then they start shooting out. And they start shooting out over top of you, not hitting you, but they're going and shooting into the spurs in the doorway. You hear the spurs just getting struck, and they're like,
What is happening? Run! Run! He's trying to attack us! Intruder!
and you see their blue, the ones that are getting struck by these pipes, their blue orbs are turning to red. And you see, Darian, as you're about to get launched, all these spurs getting stuck by these pipes that are extending from the room. And you feel the velocity raise as you're getting granny bowled, and you get thrown and tossed, and you're flying through the air over these pipes. And you see some of them extend, and you look back and you can see they're sticking into the mech now and sticking into its body. And you're falling, and you fall in between the pipes, and you land on Zippy's head and fall into the pit and just to the pile of blue gems.
Oh, that was a soft landing.
Tarwan! Hello!
What are you guys doing here? What the hell's going on?
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
It's good to see you too, Zip.
I did not say that.
I'm sure that's what you said. I missed you too. I know. You couldn't live without me.
The tree ant that has its hand and it's like extended fingers going throughout the worm retracts them, and the blades go back, so it's like its tree ant hands has like sword claws, It looks at you and bends a knee and goes down to your level, Darian, and looks at you and says,
Master, it's you! Thank goodness, I was so worried I was going to have to be with your pet forever.
What happened? You're a treant. What?
I don't know. The fuzzy one shoved a green, rock into me, and all of a sudden, bam!
Look at this bod.
That's quite the Tinder soul. How much longer are you going to be in this form?
I don't know. Probably a couple rounds.
Okay, well, before you drop, just make sure to get back to me.
Will do, Master.
and it salutes you. But you see back the greeters, Prince Brisbane and Cork and Lockton, are looking at you, Peterson, and are saying, "Hey, Peterson, they're going bad, it seems."
Okay. Sorry, I thought they were going to say something else. Okay. Are they in between us and the Spurs? Like, are they closer to us than the Spurs? Or are they right in the middle?
Yeah, they're inching towards you guys. They're walking backwards towards you as the Spurs, they're not moving yet, but they're all like arching their backs and their shoulders are locking into place as they're going back to their old red orb form. There's still some blue ones, though, that are fighting off the pipes.
I'm going to say, blue ones to me now, and stay low. And I'm going to get ready, and I'm going to say to the greeters, come with me as well. And I'm going to start conjuring up a wall of fire. I'm not going to cast it, but I'm getting ready to cast it if all the Spurs that are red start coming towards us.
Okay, perfect. The blue Spurs look at you and say,
Everyone, let's go to Peterson. We need to get to him now. Don't get hit by a pipe.
and the blue Spurs start sprinting to you along with the greeters, and some of them are getting hit on the way as they're sprinting and getting stabbed by these pipes and turning red. But you have about 20 that make it to you, and they're like all circled and huddled with you guys at the. So behind you is the back or the body of this worm. And in front of you is 20 of these good robots and the greeters, and then behind is the red ones, which is about 60 of them that are getting stabbed.
Okay, I'm going to say, Westboro, Toddle One, these robots are actually being controlled. They're the souls of innocent lives. We have to do what we can to set them free.
Okay. But how are we supposed to do that? What did you do the first time?
I don't know. Hold on 1 sec. And I'm going to cast... Peterson is preoccupied with this wave of 60 Spurs that's about to start charging towards them. That's what it looks like they're going to do, right? They're going to attack us?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. I'm going to cast a wall. It can be 120 feet long. And I'm just going to make a barrier so they cannot get to us.
You cast this wall of fire, and around you, like a half semicircle, it arcs around, and fire is around you trying to protect you as you start to see the Spurs are on the move, and they're walking forward towards you. They get to the wall of fire, and you can just see, looking out through it, through the fire, you just see the red lights of their orbs before they just start walking through the fire.
Oh my gosh. No!
How much damage?
Well, first off, I just hope this doesn't... I should have said 60 feet long. I hope that doesn't change anything. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Okay, cool. 5d8 fire damage.
Roll that, and while you do, Zippy and Darian, do you want to do anything to stop the oncoming onslaught of Spurs?
I can try to block them with my body. Give it some time.
Zippy, did you manage to find any of the rest of my stuff? Or is it just the sword?
I can't reach the back of my back because my arms are so stubby, so I can't really grab my backpack anymore. I'm trying to get it. I'm really trying, DM.
Yeah, nah, it. You can feel your tendons are stretching as you're trying, but it's too stubby. Too stubby.
I do like a hula hoop motion, because the purse is around my neck right now, where my I fling it towards Darian. Don't go too deep. Don't go too deep. as something like pops in my head, I forgot to like take out of there. I rush over.
So, like, for mechanical purposes, am I allowed to just operate it like I have my stuff back?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay. I'm going to...
I hold my hand out for a high five.
I jump because he's really big, and I give him a high five. And then immediately recoil because it hurt my hand.
I go for a hug now.
And I give him the hug.
Damn.
I trip and fall.
Oh no!
Darian has grown.
Peterson feels very left out.
Legitimately, Zip, I missed you. I'm glad you guys are okay. And I'm gonna pull the wind fan out that I bought from what's his name, Valentine's shop, and it's got 2 charges on it that I can swing it, and it casts gust. I think it's gust of wind.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna run over and I'm going to do 2 big gusts into the big crowd of spurs.
Okay.
Like through the wall of fire?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I want it to be like a spiral, like gust of fire and wind.
That's what it's going to be.
With all of these powers combined.
Darian, you reach into your bag and grab the wind fan, and you hear Draken just whisper and say,
Told you something would happen. It always comes to you, see? Don't worry about weapons. They'll find their way to you.
You seem to be right.
and you part your way, you move your way through the few spurs in front, and you get to the front right before the wall of fire where you see some spurs are starting to walk through, and you lift the fan and it comes down and the fire just goes whoosh, and it just starts flaming, and it's like a huge kind of like fireball just courses over like 50 of these 60 spurs, and it's just going across and out the door of Otto's chambers. What damage did you roll, Peterson?
17.
17?
Yeah.
Okay. It comes whoosh, flying down and coursing through, and you can see some of the closer ones get knocked back, and they're still in the fire, and they're still taking damage, and the wind is just still blowing through this wall of fire.
So still holding the fan out, as gust of wind is a concentration up to 1 minute, I can spend a bonus action to change its direction, and I'm going to continue to angle it through the crowd and try and just clear as many of the 60 as I can within a minute's time, just repositioning it.
You keep blowing it, and Peterson, I'm going to have you roll damage for that again, so if you want to do that.
Wow.
While this is happening, what is the giant mouse Zippy doing?
I mean, I don't know what I'm just giving some support. If anyone wants to lean on me, I can lay longwise, and I can just try to be a good shield against anything else. So I'm not doing much.
Still just chilling as a mouse.
I just picture him like he picks up a rock, one of the blue gems, and just like starts. Sorry. I picture that Zippy just picks up a blue gem and just starts licking it just to see what it tastes like.
I am huge, but I only have 1 HP, so just gotta make it. I'll look intimidating if I can be.
That's the whole point.
Flexing,
just
over
like
there.
Godzilla.
Yeah,
Godzilla only has 1 HP. That's canon. So you keep blowing it, and what was the damage?
A lot better this time, 30.
Oh, okay.
And I am very sad about it.
With your ingenuity and your teamwork, the fire just keeps coursing and coursing over. And you see that all of the 60 spurs have just fallen, and they're on their backs, and they're like kind of shaking as they're just still saying,
Intruder.
and they're malfunctioning, and their orbs are going dim as you have just like combo womboed the hell out of this.
I'm going to give Darian a nod with my mask on, like a, hey, nice job.
You see the pipes that are still stuck in the fallen Mechanos, just you see the fallen ones are being lifted and raised, even though they're like lifeless bodies, and they're just being flown back into the room behind the worm, behind into the red light. They're just getting dragged back in there. And more pipes are going and spreading even further out into the chasm. You see that you've cleared the way. You still have your 20 good ones with you. And you see at the doorway, Lara and Leslie make it there. Lara's kind of carrying Leslie, like he's kind of limping, but he's there with Lara. And he just yells,
Zippy, Jerry, and Peterson! Good to see the gang's back together. We gotta get out of here.
Leslie's here, too? What is... I feel like I missed a lot.
What else is new, Tuttle One?
Absolute primal savagery.
Hi, I'm Lara. I'm Leslie's wife currently. But I agree with him. We gotta get going, guys. Otto's doing something nuts. We gotta run.
All right. All you Mechanos, follow us. Stay close. Keep your heads down.
The Mechanos look at you, Peterson, and say, "We will do that. Thank you, Peterson. Save us." And you guys start making your way out of the room, walking off the gems and out towards the door as pipes above you are just spreading out into the chasm. You see they're going in through the bridge exits and entrances, and they're just spreading out everywhere. You see Lara sees Prince Brisbane and Cork, and they're like, "Oh, Lara, fantastic. We were just looking for you. Isn't this crazy?" Brisbane, this is not the time. Cork, Lockton, how are you doing?
My whole people have been murdered, and all this is happening, so it hasn't been the best day.
I'm doing okay. Lara, but what's going on?
Felix betrayed us. We gotta get out of here and get him. This has all been a scam. They've been wanting to kill us. We gotta get out of here and stop what we're doing.
Are you for real? Guys, what the hell?
Nah, Felix wouldn't do that. He's super cool. Brisbane, he did. Oh. Okay, fine. No need to use our angry voice, Lara, but fine. Let's talk about this after we get out of this hellscape, okay? So, let's go. Agreed. Let's go. And all of you guys start making your way, and Lara's still just kind of like carrying Leslie under her arm. And Leslie's like,
"Okay, guys. Time for my guide skills to come in super handy because I know a quick way to get to the top. Ready?" I'm waiting for a yes or a no.
Yes, Robot One.
Darian doesn't seem fully present in what's happening, and he keeps looking over his shoulder back at Otto, like he's looking for answers still.
all you see when looking back is the red glow getting brighter and brighter. But Leslie's like,
"Okay, this way. There's a kind of a hidden elevator. We can get to it and just get right up to the top. Okay, let's go."
And as you guys are turning right, just after you've exited Otto's chambers and you're going right into the walls, into some hallways, you see the giant mech has several pipes in it, and it just gets ripped off its hinges on the platform it was resting upon, and the torso just goes flying back, and it slams into the walls of Otto's chambers and just gets dragged inside. And you just see there's like rocks falling from the ceiling. Some of the Mechanos steel is cracking and bending. The whole area is shaking. But Leslie's like, "Okay, this way." And all of you and your band of friendly robots, everything, you run out of the hallway and you find there's an elevator similar to the one that Lara and Zippy made it down into the chasm with. And Leslie's just like,
"Okay, robots, make a chain."
And they make a chain with one of the Spurs' hands on one of the orbs on the left side of the elevator, Leslie's hand on the right side, and there's kind of a monkey chain between them. And the magic in the orbs activates, and the elevator starts to raise. And all of you are raising up to the top. You have a moment if you want to say anything to each other, or make any kind of plans if you want.
Can anyone fill me in on what I've missed? Leslie, what are you doing here? Where have you been? I feel really lost right now.
All I know is that these are souls who have been captured from Mana Snow. And even some greeters have been taken inside of these robot bodies. That's all I know. Oh, and he's all still a mouse, so he can't say anything. I wonder what answers are inside of that giant squishy head.
Zip, do you think you could fill me in? In common, please?
But I'd have to lose my mouse form.
It's the biggest sacrifice.
I put my hand on his mousy side and I say, "Do you want me to deal you 1 point of damage?"
I can not be a mouse anytime I want.
Well, I don't know that. I get a claw and I start bringing it towards him. I press my claw into his skin.
I push against the wall.
I stab him.
All right, I'll undo the mouse.
Oh, Pearson is a little disappointed inside.
Does that make me a big Zippy then?
Oh.
Can you hear us?
Yes, actually, you're a big Zippy still.
Oh, so I undo the mouse thing, and then I'm a big Zippy.
Yeah, essentially the mouse gets replaced with a Zippy.
Is there room for me? Because that's like or do I stay the same height?
You're gonna
as the
stay
mouse?
the same size as you were as the mouse.
Hey guys!
Oh my gosh.
Darian, good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Zip, you've grown since the last time I saw you.
So much has happened.
What about you, Darian? How did you escape?
I don't know, something... I had an anti-magic collar on, and I don't know, something Draken did, I guess. It came off, and I was able to get out of the pit.
As if. I was the one who did that. You see, don't
listen to him.
We thought Otto was behind the curtains. I was behind the curtains the whole time.
With the whole...
Well, maybe for the past 10 minutes. No, not the whole time. I found a cool computer and I hit some buttons on it. Lara's handcuffs came off. Come closer, Lara. You're so small now.
Yeah, it's true. He made my cuffs come off.
This is Lara.
Darian, they're all liars, Darian. That was totally me. I did Lara's as well.
Sure, Draken. Can someone just fill me in on what happened? So Mechanos are people from Mana Snow and Greeters.
Well, I don't know about that. I'd have to cross-reference with that, because I don't know.
They speak for themselves.
I haven't heard that.
But Zippy, you didn't trust Leslie last time I saw you.
I still don't.
Okay. Because, yeah, your back is looking pretty metal.
Oh, yeah, he's like part Mechanos. You see, there's like a upper echelon of Mechanos things.
You're a crown?
Yeah, kind of. I wouldn't say like fully fledged crown. I don't have my badge. Yeah, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, he's like a half crown thing. It's very confusing. He got married. I officiated that. Not totally in support, but it was something to do in the moment. And Lara is questioning a lot now about that whole thing. She's also connected to Felix. A lot of these greeters are here, I guess, doing these time travel things, plane hopping or something.
Wait, that's right. I need to try and get back. I need to try and get back to the Feywild.
Oh, what?
Wait.
You're plane hopping too? Are you a greeter now?
Yeah, I'd made a deal with Otto to spare you guys if I made a jump for him. Clearly he wasn't sticking to it.
Yeah, he didn't stick to that. I had to showboat my little cape here, and look how big I am now.
Yeah, I can see that. How long does that last, by the way?
That's a little personal question, Darian. I don't ask you how long you last.
I'd say about a minute, as with all concentration. With him.
How long does this last again, DM? Sorry, I apologize for not knowing that.
It actually lasts for 5 minutes.
Hey, not bad.
And you're coming up to the tail end of that.
Yeah, I was like, guess that's coming up to the tail. You let me know. Any minute now it should be done, but I'm enjoying it while I can. All of you are so small.
As you say that, you start to shrink.
No!
And you're back into regular Zippy form.
Oh, man.
My Cole's notes, I was captured. I've damaged my hands, possibly permanently. I made a weird plane jump to the Feywild. Learned a couple things. We can talk about that more in detail once we get out of this collapsing cave and not being in the company of everyone else here.
Can I insight check?
We're about
Can
here.
I insight check when he grazes over that? To just
Sure, if you want to.
I just want to
This
see.
is a long elevator ride.
I just want to see if I can pick up any kind of connotation to what he skips over there.
Do insight check and competition. Do a wisdom save, Darian.
24.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah. You can tell it was definitely something painful. But despite that, he's not willing to say it in front of everyone else who's here, especially because he doesn't trust Leslie.
I'm going to keep my mask down and just nod.
The elevator comes to a halt, and you see a Mechanos door at the other end of the elevator opens up, and you can see in the path are two red helicals, the gorilla robots with pipes in their backs. And Leslie's like,
Damn it, he's already reached up here. Guys, do you have anything?
and then Switch, the treant, who's also on the elevator, steps up and says,
Master,
Let me take care of this one.
just say the word.
By all means.
All right.
and the treant's arms extend and the swords on its fingers extend and both of its hands just pierce through the helicals and it just goes shaking them around, kind of like Groot did in Guardians of the Galaxy when he like stabbed several people and just shakes them around. It's like essentially doing that to the helicals and just breaking them and busting them and throwing them across the way, and they burst through the back door, and you see this is just a little shelter at the top ground level, and they bust through the door and fall into the open snow and the open air, and you can just hear them saying, as they die. And the switch sword retracts its branches and just looks at you and says,
Okay, Master.
Looks like my time is
Just bro.
and the branches start to like fall apart, like they're turning to ashes as they retract and they reform into your base switch sword, and it falls to the floor and the Tinder Soul Gem pops out.
I go over and recover it.
You recover it, and the blade is pretty hot. It's not scalding, but you pick it up, sheath it, and you got your gem back. Darian is reunited with his only love. You and the gang rush out of the elevator into the open snow, and you can see you're just near the perimeter towers of the outer ring. You see around you, there's very little Mechanos activity, even drones in the air. There doesn't seem to be many at all. You just see the center spire, and you see the 6 pillars with the half moon orbs on top are still set in place in their respective rings. But you're outside, and you're very close to actually the railing of one of the rings that the outermost perimeter towers, like, you know, the rail that they go on that allows them to spin, that you're very close to that. And you just see and you look out, and there doesn't seem to be very many Mechanos at all. But then a helical jumps from behind, but this one has a blue orb and looks at you and says,
Hi, what is going on? You look like you can help me, and more spurs with blue. The red ones seem to be bad and tried to attack me. But what is happening? Can you please save me? I'm from Mana Snow.
Come with us. We'll make sure you're safe.
Please, I just want to leave. I'll do anything.
and all of you are outside. What do you want to do?
So, DM, just remind me, the tower in the center that we went up before a couple episodes ago, there is no glass dome at the very top, right?
It's like a glass ring wall dome thing, yeah.
There is. Okay. I'm just going to look to Darian, still with my mask down, and I'm going to say, Tall One, this is more your affair than mine. But if you wish, I think I have just enough steam to shatter that wall up on that tower there.
It's very far.
Never mind, we probably don't have time. It was a fleeting idea. I think we should leave.
But if we leave now, then he still has the device, and he can continue to use it, and... I mean, should we do something to stop it? Should we stop these jumps? Can they continue to use it without us?
Darian, we need to get that tower. We can't leave without it. It's our way to the Feywild.
Darian, DM, with my bunny ears, can I hear, is there any weird noises going on that I can hear?
Perception check with advantage, because you're a bunny.
Because I'm a bunny! I got a 17.
You hear tremors and rumbling, and you can tell something beneath the ground is moving with your ears. You can actually hear, coming from the elevator shaft that you just entered into, you can hear lots of just clanging of metal and just smashing into each other, and just rocks crumbling and steel bending. And then off in the distance, at the other end of this entire bowl that you're in, way at the other end of the perimeter ring, you see a huge explosion of snow that pillars up. And you see a giant mech hand reaches out and slams into the snow. And then poof, another one. And another hand slams into the snow. And you see arching its back and lifting itself out of the ground is the Mechanos mech torso, but now with legs. And you see its helmet. It's not an orb for a head anymore. It has this full helmet with these two red piercing eyes. And you can see that its legs are kind of made of this smattering of the worms kind of scale Mechanos material, and also a bunch of spurs and other stuff has been assembled into it. And you can see it raises into its back and pulls out this giant whip with two whips on it and these serrated edges on it. And you can hear just echoing across the chasm, standing before you.
Guys, I don't think we're going to be able to outrun that.
Darian!
Oh my goodness.
Darian, did you have a good trip?
Oh, don't worry, guys. I know this. I know who this is. This is that auto guy
Did you
about.
know? Did you know about the Slayer?
I knew about the Slayer, Caspin. What of him?
Did you know he's gone?
What? That is excellent news. In that case, I do not require your services anymore, Darian. And our deal for your safety has ended.
And you see at the other end, he raises his whip and he goes lashing it down, and just from across the pit, this whip comes. Everybody make a dex save.
Oh, man.
He doesn't like you very much, Darian.
Oh, no surprise. That's a 23 for me.
22.
Nice.
16.
Okay, you all save.
Yes!
You all jump to your respective sides. Lara and Leslie and all the greeters, everybody jumps, and some of the spurs, though, are too slow and get crushed by this whip and get stabbed.
Damn it.
Oh. I wanted to do a mighty 100 with this other spurs.
Me too.
Not all of them got killed. Just about 5 of them. They got smashed as you guys jump to the side and snow explodes. And you can just hear the serrated edges just grating into the ground as it gets dragged back to Otto at the other end.
Did you make him do it? Did you make him open the gate the first time? Is that true?
He worked with us, just as you did. I suppose, like father, like son.
Peterson, do you know what's going on right now?
I have no clue.
It's so confusing.
Leslie yells at you guys and says,
Guys, I don't know what to do. We gotta move.
He's the one you want! I go over and grab Leslie.
you grab him, he's like,
Get off of me! Stop!
See? He's the one you want.
No. Otto, we're friends. We're friends.
I will deal with you very soon, Leslie.
Jimmy, why would you say that?
Are there any... can I look for any switches on Leslie or something? Like any toggles or something to turn him into like a super weapon or something? That's gotta be a thing.
perception check.
Come on, roll. Oh! Yes! Yes! That's a natural 20 set.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Yes!
Wait, give me a second.
Oh no.
That was
What
perfect.
did you find?
Zippy, you find a switch on his left armpit.
Wow, I really searched him.
You just feel there's a little switch, like a light switch.
Leslie, what's this?
What's what?
The Buzz
I don't
Lightyear.
have time. The thing's coming down. I'm gonna flip this.
You're gonna flip what?
What did you... I have a plan.
Excuse me?
Leslie's voice has changed, and his eyes are shining blue. They were never like shining any color before, but now they're shining blue.
Leslie, what's the matter with you? What's happening?
I feel as though I'm in tune with my Mechanos abilities.
And all it took was a flip of the switch. Can you help us at all? We're gonna get smashed over here.
I see the problem, and I know a solution. One moment.
And Leslie looks at the spurs and the helical, and he raises his arm. And you saw him do this once before when his switch wasn't flipped. He turned a red robot blue. He turns all of them, and all their blue orbs just shine brighter. They start moving forwards towards Leslie, and the helical and spurs all crowd around him. And Leslie leads them to the rails that the perimeter towers are on. And Leslie bends down, and he clasps the rail with his hands, and he clasps it with his feet. So he's like on his hands and knees clasped to the thing. And the spurs assemble, and their bodies are morphing, because you saw like before their arms could like morph to swords. They kind of morph together, and the spurs morph, and the helical gets in there too, and they full Transformers turn into this like mini rail train with like a rail gun on the front. You see the helical has turned into a full rail gun, and you hear a voice come from all of them.
Here, hop on. We are going to take down Otto right now.
Choo choo, let's go.
Hold on, everyone. DM, I want to try something.
Okay.
I've been waiting to use this ever since Pearson was made. I have a magical ruler.
Yep.
I'll read this out loud. A 12-inch ruler that changes the length of whatever object it is measuring to exactly 12 inches. All other measurements of said object are changed proportionately. I want to go up to the railgun of this thing, if I can reach it, and I want to find the smallest component of it, like a screw or an edge or anything that is less than 12 inches. The smallest thing I can find. And I want to use it to expand the gun to become like twice the size.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. You know, I gave you this. I never thought of this capability. This is incredibly clever. Okay. You go up to the railgun on this mini kind of like train made of Mechanos steel, and you find a little Mechanos bolt that's about like 2 inches apart, like wide, and you put the ruler next to it and expand it on the railgun, and the railgun and even the train, because it's all one thing, the train becomes larger, like a full-on like front of a train, and the gun just gets massive.
Yes!
And you have a gun train.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna hold with the ruler and say, a wizard gave me this. I'm gonna put it away.
All aboard, everyone.
Darian runs up. Okay. Let's take this bastard down.
All aboard, all aboard. Take him down. Come on, Peterson.
All right, Westboro. I hop on.
All right, Leslie. Choo choo. Off we go.
Time to kick Otto's ass.
And you guys go blasting off as Otto's whip comes crashing down and lands, but you guys are going around the ring in this gun train, and that's where we're gonna end the episode.
No!